Hey everyone, this is David over here at Revizto. Wanted to thank you for joining me today on today's learning session as we will be covering concrete tracking workflows. And as simple as the title sounds is as simple as the video will be. And it's really just an approach on how can I take my model in Revizto and break it down to only show the structural components that are needed to bring over and allow my project teams to take the information and apply them to the tracking of pouring of concrete. So jumping right into it, we can move over into the link section. And here I've developed a special preset that only shows and selects the structural pieces of the model here. This allows you to only work with the models that are loaded, and anything here that isn't loaded won't disrupt your searching, creating your search sets, finding your objects, things like that. So really just moves a lot of the noise out of this exercise. So as I move through and I use my object tree, I can then show you the ability of, hey, I have the ability to select my slabs. I can select my foundations through here, and the goal is to, at these selections, to save them down to search sets. And moving and using those search sets is how you're going to begin bringing this information out, as you see here on my search set list. I have a folder that's dedicated to those concrete tracking sets. I have the ability to then break out those foundations, those footings, any type of slab if it's modeled correctly. And to show how those objects are being found is a matter of just selecting those search sets, opening up your Find Objects tool, showing exactly what's being searched or how it's being tracked. So whether it be through the objects tree or through a parameter of your property types within the model itself. So as I go through here and get back to the task at hand, I have developed a search set that shows my overall footings, and we want to go ahead and begin creating a workflow that tracks those footings. So I've developed a quick viewpoint to show a plan view that gives an overhead to capture everything, to make sure I'm not seeing anything. So from there, I've developed 3 search sets that are based off that overall footing search set, and that reflects my my sequences of my pour sequences. This can reflect your pour schedule, and this could be an easy way to then break out that information on how to bring it over to your team. So again, further filtering this down. And on top of that, you can also apply an appearance template over those sequences themselves individually. This can be in cases that you would want for those sequences to reflect the pour schedule that the rest of your project team is used to seeing in coloration. So this also helps convey the imagery a little bit better and allows your teams to be a little bit more familiar with these processes. As we have that already set up, then we can then better understand how this information is shown and organized over to the issue tracker first. So as you see at the bottom here, I already have these issue tracker presets that are built out based on sequence. And moving through the list is basically a checklist that is set up for field engineers for them to go in and understand those components at an individual level. And being able to reflect what type of status they'd like to update, and really just taking those tracking workflows and applying it to those issues as they move through. So they're not moving through the model, they are moving through the issues that moves them through the model. And what I'm showing here now is an appearance template that is based off those statuses. So as that quick navigation that you're moving through those issues, users also have the ability to add those custom parameters around those foundations to show what is cured, to show what is actually there on site now, and being able to convey that information over to the rest of the project team. So I'm going to do a quick reset here just to basically give you an idea of how quick it is to get to that information once it's already set up. So I have a viewpoint with the plan view that's set. I have my clash search sets, not my clash search sets, I'm sorry, my concrete search sets that are already set. I have the overall setting. I have that appearance profile template that can be associated to it. Also, that's the status progress template as well. But this time, let's move forward and go through an example here. So I want to move through sequence 3 and to show you how that information can be brought out and sent to your field teams. So with that sequence, I've opened up the selection inspector, and within this selection inspector chooses all the footings that are selected within that search set, that sequence 3 search set. And here I have the ability to then create an issue out of all of them, and I've created a special one that's for sequence 3. And here the issues are being published into the issue tracker and associated with the sequence 3 issue preset that I've created. So as I click through here, I now have presented this to my field teams and telling them, hey, just navigate to that sequence 3 preset I've created and go ahead and start your checklist. So they can then go into these items, open up the properties of this specific footing. But what they can also do now is add custom properties that I've already pre-built into this exercise, and give them the ability to do pour date or is the concrete cured, give it a yes or no value, and allow them to update this information as they continue moving down those items that I've created for them based on this tracking exercise. So you can go ahead and here's a data text entry. I can type in today's date, which was 1/15/21. I can press OK, and that information now is being updated into the project. And so now that I've exited out, I can then refresh this very quickly. And those objects now reflect those statuses. So those across the project can now understand within those templates what is actually being tracked here. So I'm going ahead and just traditionally update this as if it was an issue, and move on to the next item. Update the status there, just to be a little repetitive, but to show this is how typically a workflow would work. This is, and again, this is a handoff of information to your field teams that they would typically take over at this point. And as I move back to the 3D view here, I can then begin basically giving a better understanding of how easy it is to break out this information, and being able to just have these search sets that are based off of those tracking workflows. And again, it's not just to the footings, it's anything that can be tracked. And as long as it's modeled, if it's modeled correctly and you can use that information in an actionable way, then they can be easily utilized in this fashion as well. And with all that information being tracked, you have the ability to then take that and tie a chart to it, and being able to give a high level look at the progress of these tracking workflows as well. As you see, I have 3 charts that are based off those pour sequences, or 2 right now, but I'm going to build the 3rd one right now. So based off of those issues that I just created, I'm going to create a concrete footings sequence 3 with the dates that are associated with that sequence. If I can remember what date it is. Yep. Okay, perfect. And here we can build a simple pie chart. I have it shown by status. And from here, I can navigate down to the stamp that I use to associate these, to create the issues with, and navigate down to the sequence 3s, the CS3 that I've developed. And that pie chart reflects those tracking exercises that we covered earlier. And just to tie the knot here and to go full circle, I can go back to that sequence 3 preset I've created, run through the exercise of tracking, hit that information as solved, move back to my report now, And let me go ahead and update this. Move back down to that sequence 3 chart, and as you see, that is being updated as well. So again, being able to tie this to a chart and understanding, where the progress is at for these exercises is something as simple as just setting it all up together. Anyway, I hope this was informative for everyone. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out, as I'd be more than happy to set this up on your project for you as well. Thank you.